Hey guys, it's Kat here and I'm back for my empties of, I don't know, August, September. September at this moment is nearly over. I don't know when it's going up. I've got a lot of shit to do, but it's probably the last 5 weeks, maybe 6 weeks worth of products. I've got a lot here. This is what my box looks like. It's been just clogging up my bathroom, so I thought it's a good time to talk about my empties. So empties are the products that I've used up, and I tell you what I think of them after using them completely, and also whether or not I would repurchase them or not. So let's get on to it. Now, I'm going to start with the products that I used up in my last Project Pan check-in, which are these guys here. I used up a Revo lip balm. I think this was like mint melon or melon mint. I really liked it. I don't mind these Revo lip balms. I prefer things like Carmex, so at the moment I wouldn't repurchase one, but for a cheap kind of one of those domed EOS type lip balms, I quite like them. They're very affordable. I also used up a DKNY Be Delicious fragrance. I'm trying to use up a few fragrances by the end of the year so I can then start looking at purchasing new fragrances. I just want new fragrances. So I've kind of told myself if I use up a couple, I can buy one and, you know, whatever. So I like this one. I've had it before. I've got it in a mini, like a little tiny baby one. So I'm not going to miss it, but I really like the range. So, you know, I like that. I think this is my second one I've had. All right, then I've used up a Lancome eyeliner. This is the Liner Mini Maxi. So one side was more like wider and one side was thinner. It was a nice liquid liner. It lasted quite well. It didn't like smear or smudge on the eye, and unlike other ones, I find Maybelline ones just kind of smudge on me. And this lasted probably a good, I think I took this away on holidays with me when I went to Japan. So I have been using this since June, so it did last a very long time. So definitely worth the investment because I have tried other Rimmel, Maybelline, all that kind of stuff, liquid liners, and they maybe last 2 weeks and they start drying out. This was literally months, so worth the investment. I wouldn't necessarily repurchase that because I've got some Japanese ones I want to try. I've also heard the Stila one is supposedly really good, so if I wanted to try a liquid liner, I'd probably try other brands, but I would come back to that one knowing that it did work quite well. And the last thing I used up in my Project Pan, this is a Laura Mercier. It is eyeshadow. It was a caramel matte color. Now this is discontinued, so I'm not going to repurchase it, but it was a nice matte caramel transition kind of color. All right, all this stuff is super fluffy because it's been sitting on the floor for like 6 weeks. I used up a Moroccan oil. This is just the Moroccan oil treatment for all hair types. I used to love Moroccan oil. Fluff on my eyelash. I used to really love Moroccan oil when I used to dye my hair like a different color and my hair was quite dry. It was like my favorite hair oil. Was the first one I ever tried and I really loved it. Then a few years later I was like reminiscing and I'm like, oh, I used to love Moroccan oil, and I got it and I realized it's a little bit too heavy for my hair, so I wouldn't repurchase it anytime soon. But if I decided to like bleach my hair and go a different color, I might come back to it. They do have a light version and a lot of people will be like, Kat, you can use the light version. That's actually light colored, so if you have blonde hair, it's a light color, because this, if you take it out, is actually like a yellow color. There's not much in it, but it's like a yellow color, and I think the light version, yeah, it's designed for light colored hair. It's the kind of consistency is the same. So I wouldn't repurchase this because it's too heavy for my hair at the moment, but I do still have like a nostalgia kind of bond with it from years and years and years ago. Talking about hair, I toned my hair. This is just the Schwarzkopf Live Color Natural Brown. I had to use 2 to tone my hair, and I think it worked quite well. I do have the chocolate brown, which is deeper, and I might try next week. So yeah, they're quite cheap, and if you can get them at like 50% off hair care sales and stuff, I might pick up more. Yeah, it tones your hair and it's affordable. All right, I used up an eyelash glue. This is from Model Rock Lashes. I love Model Rock lashes. I use them all the time. Now this, there's still some down the bottom, I'm sure you can see, but this is gone. I think it's just mainly on the side, so it's just kind of gathered around the sides, and it's gone quite chunky on the wand. And now I can't get a nice thin application of glue. It kind of just like puts chunks of glue on it. But I've been using this for probably, I don't know, over a year and a half, and I really like it. My lashes haven't fallen off. It's a good glue, and I actually have already repurchased this. I've bought the black version, so yeah, I might open that one up and chuck this one out. Alright, I used up a moisturiser that you probably won't see because it's up here, it's too washed out. This is by La Roche-Posay. It's Effaclar Matte. I really like this stuff. It's a light moisturiser that you wear during the day, and it helps keep your skin mattified, and I think it does that. So it definitely controls oil. Now, I find that when I'm wearing this, my makeup doesn't break down as quickly, so I really like this. I would definitely repurchase it. It's a great moisturizer, and I used it up, like I only got this earlier this year, but I used it up way quicker than any other moisturizers I have because I really liked it. I used up, once again, really hard to see, a Cosmea Rose Glow body wash. This was quite a light body wash, but it had a nice fresh kind of rose scent to it. It was quite uplifting. It wasn't too heavy. I did really like it. I find that it was more of a gel, and it, like, of course it's gel, but it was more like a gel kind of consistency that didn't foam unless you put it on like something like a loofah. So it foamed up beautifully on a loofah, but if you just use your hands, it kind of just smears gel on you. But I did like it. I would consider repurchasing it. Okay, I love this hair care brand, but I didn't love this stuff. So this is by Husk, whatever, and it's the Keratin Protein Smoothing Deep Conditioner. Now I just use this instead of a conditioner, and I found that it did smell really nice. Yeah, it had a really nice kind of fruity scent, but I found that it didn't do anything great to my hair, and I had to use quite a lot to cover my hair. And I think I maybe got like 5 or 6 applications out of this. And since this is like a large tube, I just didn't think it lasted as long as I wanted it to. So yeah, I don't love it. But I do really like this brand, and everything else I've tried has been really good. I used up Daiso cotton puff things, these little square cotton pads. I use them to, they look like that. I use it to remove makeup, nail polish, swatches, and you can generally get these in a 2-pack for $2.80, so I'll definitely repurchase these. Let's talk about some makeup. I'm getting rid of my Australis Fresh and Flawless pressed powder. This is just broken in my bag, and I don't really want to repress it. It's a lot of hassle. It's quite a soft powder, so I find that once it's broken, it just keeps breaking, so I'm just going to chuck it out. I've got some backups, and it was just the rim anyway, so getting rid of that. But like I said, I've got backup, so I like that product. I've repurchased it many times. And I've also used up the Maybelline Master Conceal Camouflage Concealer in 10 Fair. Now this is way lighter than my normal skin tone, but I use it to lighten other foundations or concealers. I have repurchased this. I think I've bought 2 because I go through them really quickly, because a lot of my foundations tend to be more like summer foundations, and so for me to use them in winter, this is really good to mix in because it like lightens it perfectly, and you can kind of tweak it depending on the foundation, and it also adds a little bit of coverage. So I really like this, not so much as a concealer but as a color adjuster. I also used up a little mini of a Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. This is like a silicone primer. I actually like this primer. I don't know if I liked it enough to invest in a full size, but for a silicone primer, I thought it was a really good one. I quite liked it. I used up some Pixi. These are the Glow Tonic to Go. So these are like pre-soaked pads of their Glow Tonic. Really, really handy. I really liked using them. I would kind of just use them in the morning almost to like refresh my face when I wake up, because I shower at night. And I've used these before. I would repurchase it again. I like it. If you like the Glow Tonic but you want a more convenient kind of way to use it, this one's really good, and it comes with 60 pads, so if you use it every day, you've got a couple months worth. I used up a Lon Vitalite or Lon Vitalite coconut milk hydrating nourishing facial mask. I actually really liked this. What I liked about it was that it wasn't one of those really drippy, disgusting masks. It was really kind of, it almost seemed like it had like coconut milk or something. It was quite dry, so you could just put it on and it just kind of melded onto your face like gorgeously. It felt really nourishing. I like the effect. I really enjoyed it. I do recommend this. I would repurchase it. I think I've got a couple more from this range, so I'm very happy because this is a really nice mask. It was just like putting, yeah, like something that had been soaked in like a coconut cream or something. I don't think it smelled like coconut, but it just didn't feel drippy and wet and disgusting and cold. It was more like luxurious and gorgeous, so I liked it. I used up dry shampoo. This is the Blighty Brunette by Polished London. I really like it. It deposits a bit of brown so it doesn't look like I've got grey hair. It works quite well and it's super duper cheap. I get this when it's 50% off, so it's generally down to around $2.50, and I buy a few of them and I bought some backups. I also used up a cleanser. This is the Clarisonic Sonic Radiance Skin Illuminating Cleanser. I love this stuff. This stuff was so good. It's a really thick, really beautifully scented, really nicely foaming cleanser. You don't need to just use it with your Clarisonic. This fluff is really annoying me. I should stop keeping my empties box on the floor. But you don't need to just use it with your Clarisonic. I used it normally just with my hands and it was really, really beautiful. The annoying thing about this though is that I've got fluff on my eyebrow. That's annoying. The annoying thing about this is I think you can't buy it separately. I think you have to buy it in a pack with like a Clarisonic head and maybe a toner or a moisturizer or something. I just want to buy this on its own because it's really good. So if I could buy it on its own, I'd definitely repurchase it. In the pack, I'd be less inclined to repurchase it. All right, I used up, this is my last thing. This is the Alpha H Liquid Gold. This, people will be like, blast from the past. Probably about, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago, all YouTubers were talking about this stuff, and this was a really old school packaging. It's changed packaging, I think, twice since. So it looks a lot different now. This is like, I guess it's like a toner sort of product that you put on occasionally. Like you don't put on every night, maybe 2 nights a week. And it's a glycolic acid, so it's a chemical exfoliant. It works really, really well. It does leave your skin really smooth and kind of nice the next day, but the way for it to work the best is for not to put anything over the top. And I find that really kind of uncomfortable. I like moisturizers. I like the feeling of my skin being hydrated. So just using this, I find it really hard to do. Now, when I first bought this, I actually bought it in like, it was like a deal where you buy 2 and you get the something something and whatever. So this had been unopened for a very long time, which is why I got the old packaging. And you're supposed to open it within 24 months of, no, you're supposed to use it within 24 months of opening. Now, I think I did do that because I only opened it not that long ago, or maybe, probably nearly 2 years ago. But it takes me so long to use this because I don't enjoy using it. I do like the effects, but I would prefer to use a chemical exfoliant that I can put moisturizer with, or that I can use every day and is more gentle, so I get like a prolonged effect. This I found like the next day your skin's really nice, but then the day after that your skin's back to normal, and you have to keep remembering to use this every other night, and it's just not how I like to do my skincare. I like having the same sort of skincare routine and for it to do everything I want it to do on a daily basis. So I won't be repurchasing this, but it's a holy grail for a lot of people. All right, those are my empties, done and dusted. There was a lot of products. Hopefully that was interesting to see what products I've used up and what I think about them. And also if you want to see my most recent check-in for my Project Pan, I'll leave it up in the corner. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.